topic of today was we saw that, which was surprising, was that Jim Jones, posted a picture of you calling you a culture vulture for reasons unknown. But what do you like? What's the situation? How do you feel about that?
Whatever it is, I'm out here. I'm in Malibu, so I don't know. But whatever it is, that's family business. I know Jim. He's emotional. He's my brother, and I don't know what it would, on any level, why anyone would disrespect me. And the topic of that, I don't want it to be about him. You know what I'm saying? But what it's really about is in business, and I guess when it comes to black people, when they do business together, it doesn't matter how much good stuff you do. If one thing is perceived as bad, it might be even misunderstood. Black people get very reactive instead of just talking it through. And a lot of times it's usually a misunderstanding. And usually whoever's putting the battery in your back has their own agenda. But Jim's a creative. And again, I know him for his whole life. So I would never have no problems with Jim. I would never have no problems with anybody on a physical level where I have the need to disrespect anybody. So, I wish he would approach things different. You know what I'm saying? But, what problems we gonna have? That's just, families got problems sometimes, man. They react. We don't hide our problems. We wear it all on our sleeve. So I guess when it comes to Harlem dudes, they're emotional. Doesn't excuse it. But anyway, on any other level, that tends to be something that happens. So in terms of guys like Currency and Beans and all these kind of things, I usually hear about their issues. It's never presented to me. And I wish if they did have issues, they would just come and talk to me about it in a manly way, because they should know, based on my history of all the good things I've done, that if anything was ever done bad, it wouldn't be intentional, because that's not how I'm built, and that's not what I do. And if I did do something bad, I would hope they would forgive me for that one thing I did bad, just based on all the good stuff that I've done. But, I would be all right with having a conversation with anyone that says that I owe them money, just as long as it's a civil conversation. As long as it's not overcompensation for robbing me someplace else. You know what I'm saying? But my intent is never to do bad business, and my books are always open. I make people rich. That's what I do. And then also, when I'm fighting for something, I would hate, it's always someone from the culture that will take that power from the person fighting for the culture. So I don't know why anyone would do that. You know what I'm saying? We gotta all stick together. And the way to deal with things is to talk it out. It's never smart to talk violent or be violent or to be overly disrespectful. No one really deserves that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna really call someone out their name. My experience is I say exactly what I'm mad about or what bothers me, and I'm always open for a conversation about it, whether it's private or public.
Right.
But as long as we conduct ourselves like the men that we are, I just want the respect that I give. And if somebody's telling somebody something, I would hope that they don't believe it. They should, gauge whatever their thought is based on their experience with me on other things. I think I'm an honorable person, and I would challenge anybody to tell me I'm anything different. But usually when people say these things, they always say it, a couple of states away. You know what I'm saying? It's never a direct conversation with me. You know what I mean? It's always, I always hear about it. I never really know what's really going on. You know what I mean? But again, it's usually creatives and people, sometimes that have agendas, put something in someone's ear or a battery in their back so that they can make money off of them. And that's what happens. But it's funny how heavily scrutinized the independent is, right? Like a corporate really does openly rob people all day and no one says anything. But the minute I'm suspicious, it's always suspicious that I've done something that's vague, then it becomes some sort of an issue. And, again, lawyers usually push issues because they get paid fees, and that's their agenda, and they waste as much time as possible, and usually nobody wins but the lawyers. So usually whoever pushes a legal action is usually the lawyer that's pushing it, and then he wants all these unnecessary motions and actions and answers and discoveries and, depositions, and at the end of the day, your legal fees are way more than the actual thing, whatever the damages are, and that lawyer gets paid because when you lose, the person has to pay legal fees. But also being in business, that happens. There's misunderstandings, and I never have an issue with going in front of a judge to objectively give a legal opinion.
Right.
That's why I'm always in court, because I always know that it's not about emotion in front of a judge. It doesn't matter how irate I am outside that courtroom, justice usually prevails. You know what I mean? It is what it is. The math is the math. And that's why I'm always willing to go to court. You know, even if I lose, you know, honestly, I really don't believe I'm wrong. I'm never going to go to court if I think I'm wrong. That's dumb.
Right.
Then I'm gonna have to pay my legal fees and their legal fees. But you know, honestly, from my experience, corporate will take advantage and they push you to go to court because they don't think that you have the stamina or the wherewithal financially to go through a 3-year process of $500,000 worth of lawyers wasting time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, culturally, I'm never gonna have another beef with any man like that. If we do, we gonna talk. It ain't gonna never be violent. I'm not gonna be disrespectful. It just makes the culture look retarded. And yeah, he's my friend. Right. I love his son. I love his mom. Like, yeah, I grew up with that dude. So, you know, that's where the forgiveness has to come in. But I would hope that, you know, if he has a problem, he would just talk to me like a man.
Right.
And that's that. And that's really all I have to say about it. You know what I mean? But it happens a lot, you know, when artists will get mad and say things in the moment, they don't even understand what the business is.
Right.
You know, but they never apologize when they find out what the business is, or they give you, you know, or the accusations or publicly what you've been accused of, even though you haven't really done anything like that.
So you feel like there's a connection, or being an artist and being emotional?
No, it's about people that take advantage of. An artist is supposed to be emotional.
Right.
That's why he's an artist. That's why he's so good at his art.
Right.
He's supposed to be. But a lot of people take advantage of artists. And if they see someone protecting an artist, they'll always make sure that they can tell that person that they're making too much money off them, or they can make them more money, or they're robbing them. Don't, you know, and also when people create distance and don't talk, that's when they know, you know, they're about to do something bad. Because you can't stab a person in his back in front of them. Like, you can't just be with me every day and stab me in my back.
Right. Yeah,
so once people just start, you know, that's basically, they don't even know you. Like, they ain't been around in a minute. They must be doing something.
It's like a plot.
It is what it is, man. Like, I think all that shit, I don't really care. It ain't that much. I'm really focused on making movies right now. Whatever money it is, it must be short. Like, you know what I mean? It's not. There's not enough money in the world, I think, to disrespect someone that's, you know, giving you nothing but love their whole life just because of a misunderstanding. There's nothing, you know what I mean? There's a tolerance, I know, because it happens to me often. But you know, but then there has to be you can love a person from a distance, you know. We just won't be doing no business together. You know, just because of reaction, we can't do that. But as a culture, we can't be dealing with our issues like that. We got to talk it through. It makes us look so stupid in front of other cultures. You know, you know how happy Lior was when he saw that.
Like disagreement.
Or anybody else from another culture that benefits from us having beef.
Yeah, how can we expect
there's not going to be no benefit from us brothers having a war or a disagreement or whatever it is. There's not, you know, that's not going to be the headline that everyone's going to make money off of.
Right.
Our stupidity based on emotion. That's not going to happen.
Right. I mean, because he's a friend of yours.
But just in general, not him, anybody.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, we all civilians. There ain't nothing we could do. That shit is done. We can't be tough in front of cameras and on Instagram and all that. You know, there's no toughness when you're an artist. That takes it all away. That becomes dumbness because you're going to jail. Mm-hmm. And you're an example. Everyone's looking at what you're doing.
Right.
So this is twofold. Karmically, it's tenfold. It's not good. If you're in front of a camera, you have a public responsibility to be a good example for the people that look up to you, especially from your culture. You know, we have to lead by example. We have to be intelligent. We have to do the right thing by each other, and that way no one else will do wrong. Like, how can we expect other cultures to respect us, and we disrespect ourselves? You know, we can't be mad at other people disrespecting us. We disrespect each other all day. We have to stop disrespecting each other if we want other people not to disrespect us. We can't be checking other people for disrespecting us if we still disrespecting each other. We got to stop disrespecting each other. There got to be more love, man. You know, shit got to be about love. Can't be about beefing. Insecurity can't be about being tough. If you don't feel sure about something, man, get somebody to mediate it or get an OG to talk it through with you. But all that over projection just makes the culture look crazy. We're smarter than that. We all are smarter than that. We all are. We all know better.
Yeah.
You know, we all know love is better than war. We all know that.
Definitely.
That's way cooler. Being cool, being peaceful, you know, having harmony is way cooler and more gangster than picking up a gun and busting it all day. That ain't it, man. You know, that shit is not it. It's not cool to me. All that shit is whack.
Especially at the time right now.
But not all the time, though.
Yeah, all the time.
We're at an all-time low, probably. Even though that it's at tilt and it's full, everyone's talking about it. Over the years, man, we've been doing a lot more damage. And a lot more damage has been done to us. Like right now, we had a good time. Like regardless of what, we got a black president. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was looking at the last covers in New York of Time magazine. It's a black man on the cover. That shit 90% of the time is Obama. Yeah, that sends a good message to the rest of the world, man. That
Right.
I'd rather that message. I don't care if, let's say, he makes a mistake here and there. So what?
Hopefully the next generation gets it.
We got to.
Yeah.
But we are evolving culturally because look how appalled we are in violence. Look how happy we are about intelligence and peace. Intelligence is being celebrated. Peace is being celebrated. And violence, unnecessary violence, is appalling to people. So that's a good thing. I think we're evolving well. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to take, definitely not going to be fighting each other. I'll never, and it won't be me. I'm not going to be that guy that's going to make us look that stupid. It will not be me. And it will not be anyone that I know. That I can at least give them the advice, come on, dog, don't do that. Pause, hug it up. Hug it up, B. Put the guns down. All the tough shit, disrespected, that ain't it.
Yeah.
Love is love, dog. Everybody, love is love.
Yeah.
Everybody, let's just pause, have squash differences day. I was going to say squash, B.
Squash differences day.
Everybody that got an issue, where it's even to a tough level, squash it for one day and just talk it out calm. And I bet you the world will be a better place. I don't care how big the corporation is that's backing you. If it's not your money, you're not the boss.